May I come in?
Yeah, come in. Please come. Please sit.
Thank you.
5 things about Kerala which are unique to the state.
Okay. First would be the natural beauty, the natural beauty of Kerala in terms of the backwaters. Second one would be the food, the different type of cuisines. It is an amalgamation of even now Arabian food is also being started there. Third one would be, ma'am, the movies, the Malayalam movies, ma'am. They are generally perceived as not being very commercial and they have very deep social messages, ma'am. Fourth one would be the people of the state, ma'am. They are actually they are very political aware and they tend to be very vocal about all things, ma'am. I'm able to list these.
Okay, fine. Very good. Okay. Why in Kerala women prefer to get into nursing and all? You know, most of the times. Yeah, why?
Ma'am, I think this has to do with many factors, ma'am. First thing would be, Kerala had a rich history of many Christian missionary schools, and so every church had an attached either a school or a college to it, ma'am. So because of this, many students were sent into the nursing and the medical line. Second one is, ma'am, nursing is being generally perceived as a very safe career option with guaranteed job opportunities, and also it is seen as very conducive to a married life, ma'am. So I think because of the existence of very good facilities as well as the social reasons, nursing is
preferred to the other jobs. Okay.
Yes.
What kind of articles do you read? You said, na, as a hobby, the reading articles.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of articles do you read?
Ma'am, generally I read articles related to India's foreign policy, ma'am. One of my most favorite author would be C. Rajamohan. He writes regularly in the Indian Express and I like reading his articles.
Okay, suppose you have to write an article about India.
Okay, ma'am.
Then how would you do that? Just about 3-4 sentences?
Okay.
Introductory sentences?
Ma'am, I would say that India is a very vibrant democracy. And we our freedom movement, our struggle has led it to a very rich and vibrant history. Second one, ma'am, are the people of our country. They are now very aspirational. They are trying to make it big, as we have seen in the Olympics, ma'am. They are building laurels.
That's how you will start your article. That would be your second sentence.
No, ma'am. Ma'am, can I think?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, first of all, I would stress on our impeccable democratic credentials, ma'am, and our parliamentary democracy. Second one, ma'am, I would draw the attention to our robust economy, which is now perceived to be the growth engine for the world. Third, ma'am, I would stress on our social heritage, social diversity, and the immense cultural diversity that exists. And fourth one, ma'am, I would draw the attention to the coming opportunities in terms of the technological field and the startups and other sectors.
Okay. You said that you do recording important events in your life.
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
can you narrate one important incident or event in your life which you would like to, which you have recorded?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I was after post-graduation, ma'am. I was working with Larsen and Toubro Engineering in Mumbai. So it was actually on a scholarship program that I had done my MTech, ma'am. So there was a bond attached to it, and I was doing my preparation for the civil services and my job simultaneously, ma'am. But then I thought a feeling came that I cannot do justice to both. So I had to take a call whether should I leave the job and prepare or continue with the job. So this was it was very stressful for me, ma'am, because I had to pay a bond value for the education. So this was something which I deliberated. I wrote all the options on paper, and then I arrived at a decision to leave the job and prepare.
So you left your job for civil service preparation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this is your 5th attempt?
Fourth, ma'am.
Fourth attempt. Okay. Now, after Nirbhaya case,
yes,
there were a lot of amendments made in the rape laws in India. What were the amendments?
Ma'am, I'm not able to exactly recall. Can I take a...
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, the Criminal Law Amendment Bill Amendment Act 2013 was passed, ma'am. and the provisions related to the increasing the stringency of the crimes, it was included. Fast track courts were desired to be set up, and specific timelines were also issued, ma'am, for completion of investigation and trials.
Okay, there were many instructions given to the medical fraternity, and also the terminology also changed. A lot of terms which were used earlier were replaced with new terms.
Okay,
so just go through that.
Yes,
okay, last questions.
Yes,
do matrilineal societies still exist in Kerala?
Ma'am, I wouldn't say that in the strict sense of the term they don't know.
They don't?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
A leftist government in Kerala,
Yes, sir.
when the whole world has rejected the leftist governments, not leftist governments, the ideology of the Communist Party, but it has been accepted by the people of Kerala. Why?
Sir, I think this has mainly to do with the performance of the government, sir. Of course, ideology plays a part, but if you look at the performance over historical trend of the performance of the left government, sir, they have been very effective in delivering good governance to the people. If you look, sir, recently the Kerala floods, after the Kerala floods, the government took up a program where a kit was sent having...
It's alright. I am not asking you. Why the people? One or two examples, no. I want some basic things. How the left political parties are different from the other political parties in Kerala?
Sir, I think the left has a very strong grassroots level base. Right from the Panchayat Raj institutions, the institution of the left is very well built, and over a period of time, they have created an entire ecosystem where people feel organically connected to the leaders. They emotionally attach with them, and even the leaders are drawn from among the people itself, sir. So I think this is one of the...
What is the difference between communism and socialism?
Sir, in strictly speaking, in terms of the political science, sir, communism, as described by Karl Marx, he said that socialism was not scientific. He said that communism, through the application of his tools like historical materialism, he wanted to give a scientific approach. He said that, sir, communist society is one where it will be defined by from each according to his ability to each according to his needs. Whereas, sir, socialism, it believes in the common ownership of the means of production and not strictly in abolition of state and other private properties.
You have worked in L&T.
Yes, sir.
Do you justify the L&T indulge in the, or we can say involved in the working, we can say construction of the Ram Mandir?
Sir, there is no, in my opinion, sir, I don't feel there is any, it is absolutely justified, sir. I mean, it is a construction, prestigious project for the entire nation, and I saw no reason why a company like...
Masjid was there, it was destroyed, demolished, and then a Ram Mandir was being built.
Sir, I think the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court has...
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What are the CSR initiatives of L&T?
Sir, L&T is generally spends around 150 crore every year on various CSR initiatives, sir. First one is a project which they call L&T-ering, where every employee of L&T, they can sign up for activities in and around Mumbai, whether it is teaching, education or others. Second one, sir, they have opened a multi-specialty hospital in Mumbai suburbs where free treatment is being provided, sir. And third, in different parts of Maharashtra, activities related to water conservation, check dam building are being done.
You have studied political science.
Yes, sir.
And international relations,
yes,
in your optional paper.
Yes.
Which part of political theory attracted you the most?
Sir, I would tell it the theory of justice, sir.
Theory of justice?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Theory of justice as given by John Rawls.
Yes, sir.
How it can be applied to the Indian society?
Sir, specifically speaking, sir, John Rawls, he had given 3 principles in the lexical order, sir. And his principle of the difference principle, which he said that any advantage which is to be given has to ensure that the least advantage is also benefited from it. I think we can see parallels of that in the reservation system which has been provided, sir, in India, in the fundamental rights. So this is to ensure, sir, that
No, there is a basic difference here.
Okay.
John Rawls used to say that it should be for the resources to be distributed in such a manner, it is for the poorest of the poor, the most disadvantaged in the society.
Correct, sir.
Done?
Correct, sir. Correct.
But when we talk about reservation policy of the government of India,
Yes, sir.
apart from the EWS,
Yes, sir.
it is based on the groups. And within the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes also, it is not reaching to the poorest of the poor.
Correct, sir.
There is no creamy layer in scheduled caste and scheduled tribes.
Yes.
So how it is relevant, how it is being used in India? He was a liberal, so he talked about individuals, not the group as a whole.
Yes, sir. Sir, in that sense, we cannot make an exact one-to-one linkage between John Rawls' theory and...
What was Amartya Sen's views on social justice?
Sir, Professor Amartya Sen, he talked about the theory of capability, sir. He said that it is not only merely resources which should be given to everyone, but it should be ensured that people have the ability to convert those resources into capability, sir. He talked about the
We
functioning...
should work on this Amartya Sen's philosophy for India.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have been working in Parliament.
Yes, sir.
In what capacity you are working? What is your
Sir,
nature?
as an assistant executive officer.
In which area, in which department,
Sir,
you are attached to which section?
Sir, it is the computer management branch of the Parliament.
Computer management program.
Yes.
Okay. So, when you work in the Parliament, we hear that the Parliament is not functioning well. So, do you think that our Parliament has declined in the contemporary times?
Sir, I would not entirely agree with that viewpoint, sir. To the public perception, it seems that Parliament, there is entire ruckus in the House and the House is not functioning. Sir, but there is a view of Parliament which is hidden from the public eye. That is mainly the committee system, sir.
No, what is this? These committee systems are useless. Yes. There is absenteeism among the members in the committee system.
Yes.
All the bills which are introduced in the Parliament, they are not referred to the parliamentary committees.
Yes.
No one here to the recommendations of the estimate committee. Public accounts committee, the reports are not accepted by the chairman or the speaker.
Yes.
Then there is lack of professionalism of the members in the parliamentary committees. So you are talking about bullish, you can say the bookish things.
Sir, I agree with you, sir. All the problems.
In fact, just to add one point, in today's newspaper,
Yes.
there was a big editorial written by one of the MPs. I think Manish Tiwari has written
Yes, sir.
an editorial.
Yes, sir. Do
we need a parliament? Isn't it?
Yes.
So it very much carries forward the same view which sir is holding.
Sir, I agree with your viewpoint, sir. Sir, but I would tend to believe that that is not an entirely accurate picture of the case, sir. Especially, sir, present the Honorable Speaker, he has taken many initiatives to improve the productivity, sir.
Yes, he is adjourning the House daily.
Yes.
Only when someone comes and throws something at him, then only he suspends that members or expels that members.
Yes.
So, he is not allowing his marshals to throw them out.
Yes.
So, what he is doing there?
Sir, one thing, especially with regard to the committee, sir, he has said that the recommendations of the committee should be drafted in such a manner that there is an actual relevance. It should not be broadly
Okay,
worded.
as an outsider, you just tell me, as a student of political science, what are the reforms
Yes.
that we require in the working of the parliament?
Sir, first thing would be, sir, the parliament should meet more often. At present, there are limited days on which the parliament meets. At least 120 days a year it should meet, sir. Second one, sir, there should be like we see in Great Britain, sir. Every session there is certain time which is allocated to the opposition, where they can decide the agenda. At present, the entire agenda in India is being decided by the government, sir. Third one, sir, I think with respect to the anti-defection law, this has actually curbed individual MPs from speaking out their mind. I think we can look at...
Anti-defection law is only for no confidence motion, censure motion, and we can say cut motion and vote of thanks to the president's address. Anti-defection law is there for that purpose only. The Supreme Court has clarified that there will be no disqualification.
Okay, sir.
You can speak your mind. Yes, it can be an anti-party activity, that is a different thing.
Okay, sir.
But you will not be disqualified.
Okay, sorry sir, I was not
There is a
aware of.
clarification by the Supreme Court.
Okay,
That is because earlier the whip was being issued for Rajya Sabha elections.
Yes,
So it is not like that.
Okay, sir. Sorry, sir.
It's alright. Thank you.
Okay. So, Rahul, you have studied from NIT Patna.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Civil engineering.
Yes, sir.
So, what are the problems which you faced, from being a person belonging to Kerala
Yes, sir.
and living in a Hindi heartland in Patna?
Sir, first problem was the language, sir. Though I knew Hindi before, but I was not very fluent in conversing. Second one was with respect to the food, sir. So the oil which is used is mustard oil, and we generally use coconut oil for cooking, sir. Third one was with respect to the climate, sir. So like we in southern India, there is no specific summer and winters as such. But in Patna, there was high temperatures and during summer and winters. So these were the major issues.
Okay. What was your favorite area in civil engineering?
Sir, I would tell environmental engineering.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Why? What intrigues you about environmental engineering?
Sir, I think environmental engineering is one such subject that has a lot of relevance in the coming, in the world as such. A lot of direct applications are there, sir. And if you look at the issue of waste treatment, waste disposal, and air, it includes pollution engineering also, sir. So I find that we need to focus more on environmental engineering given the current circumstances.
So how has civil engineering courses in India, do you really feel that they are contributing towards environmental engineering today, or it has just become a paperwork? One paper of environmental engineering has been added in the 8 semester course,
Yes,
and thus the students, they just pass the exam and they go out. Do you really feel that it is contributing towards it?
Sir, I believe that to a certain extent, environmental engineering has not got the due that it deserves, sir. In fact, even if you look at the postgraduate options, sir, among the students, structural engineering, geotechnical engineering, these are more preferred options, sir. So, I think environmental engineering, we need to focus more, sir. We can start certain dedicated cells. For example, sir, in IIT Roorkee, they have started a separate branch for earthquake engineering, soil engineering. So, something like that we can start yes.
You could have contributed in that field, you could have carried forward that your interest,
Yes.
rather than coming towards this field which you have chosen.
Sir, with respect to why I chose this field, sir, sir, actually in my personal assessment, especially during my post-graduation days, sir, I got in IIT Madras, I was introduced to a wide peer group and which gave me a lot of exposure, sir. And with interacting with them, I realized that a job which would make me very vertically specialized in a particular domain, I would not I would find more satisfaction in a job that gives me diverse areas to work upon, sir. And that is one of the reasons that I came to the field of civil services.
But there is today a very growing sense of understanding about the services.
Yes, sir.
That we need to usher in a kind of specialization rather than going towards generalization.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So there is a big demand, in fact, to reform the civil services also on those lines, and we need to create some kind of domain expertise in that also.
Yes, sir.
So isn't it contradictory in a sense?
Sir, I agree with you, sir, that we need more specialists in the services. But sir, the importance of generalists cannot be completely done away with, sir. Sir, this is a quote that I read somewhere, sir, and which particularly struck me. It said that specialists know all the right answers, but generalists know what are the questions to be asked. So it is not sufficient that we know only the answers, sir. We need a generalist will have a layperson's understanding to know what are the questions, where should be the focus diverted. He can take a bird's eye view, sir. And therefore, the importance of generalists cannot be done away with.
So, what should be the ideal solution towards this? I hope you are aware of the
Yes.
reforms which are being talked about in the civil services.
Yes.
So, the specialist versus generalist debate.
Yes, sir.
What is the ideal solution towards it? Do we continue with this superiority of the generalist services, or we usher in a new role for the specialists also? What is your view on that?
Sir, first of all, sir, in certain specialized ministries, like the Ministry of Earth Sciences, the secretary is already a specialist, sir. He is someone who is a scientist.
That is already
Yes,
that is
sir.
known to all of us.
Yes,
But
sir.
What is the future?
Yes. Sir, in future, what I would think would be a right line that after being recruited into the civil services, sir, every officer should be given an opportunity to specialize in one particular domain. So he should be given, for example, if a particular officer's interest lies in taxation, so particular courses and reforms should be taken in that.
So you agree with the recommendations which have been,
Yes,
given
sir.
by many of the ARCs and so many other committees,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Being an environmental, you are, you can say you are passionate about environment and environmental engineering.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with the kind of changes which are taking place in the vicinity of the parliament?
Sir, with regard to the construction of the new parliament, sir, absolute environmental, the environmental impact has been almost minimal, sir. For example, whatever trees were had to be cut down, double the number of trees have been planted at a site in Badarpur, sir, NTPC site in Badarpur. Second one, sir, to deal with the dust, the construction and demolition waste, we are using mist sprays, and to deal with sound pollution, proper sound barricades have been installed, and most of the construction is taking place at the night when there is no much disturbance to the public. So utmost environmental aspects have been included in the...
Why is Kerala contributing? You are from Kerala, so this question is, why is Kerala contributing 50% or more COVID cases these days? And I mean, there was a very big, you can say, discussion about the success of Kerala model in the past few months.
Yes.
But suddenly, what has gone wrong? Why is Kerala, floundering on this front?
Sir, I think there are 2-3 major reasons, sir. The first one, sir, is that the recent Zero survey results have shown that less than 50% of the population has antibodies, of the population of Kerala have antibodies. So that means there is a huge reservoir of uninfected people among which the virus can spread. Second one, sir, is that the nearly 20% of the population of Kerala are aged. So they are more susceptible to the virus. And third one, sir, recently there was a visit by the central team by the center. So they said that, sir, during the home isolation, the proper guidelines were not being followed. So people were breaking the home isolation. They were going outside and meeting with people. So these are some of the major.
There is actually a lot of criticism of the government. Last month they had allowed a huge congregation on the festival.
Yes, sir.
So what is your view on that?
Sir, I don't think that was a step in the right direction. However, sir, after the observation of the Honorable Supreme Court, these relaxations were immediately rolled back. That could have been best avoided, sir.
Rahul,
Yes, sir.
we are in the mid of a pandemic.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk something on the health.
Yes.
Recently, the Niti Aayog came out with a report, that is the investment opportunities into the India's healthcare sector.
Okay, sir.
And there the idea was given that the private hospitals, they should come to the tier 2, tier 3 cities because there are much of the opportunities.
Yes,
So in a way, privatization of the healthcare is being proposed by the Niti Aayog.
yes.
Do you agree with such kind of suggestion?
Sir, I think while looking at any reforms at the healthcare sector, we must ensure that the commercial considerations or the economic considerations are balanced with the larger social objectives, sir. So, keeping this particular reform which has been suggested by Niti Aayog, I think, sir, if we go for a public-private partnership model where the hard infrastructure can be provided by the government and the services like the diagnostic services, imaging services, all that, if it is provided by the private sector, I think that can be a very good option which can be worked upon.
Okay, not PPP model, but exactly the hardcore privatization was being suggested.
Okay,
So
sir.
I want to know your views onto that.
Okay, sir. Sir, even if there is complete privatization, the rules of the particular agreement which is entered into with the private agency, that should be such that the concerns of the least advantage are taken into account, sir. There cannot be, because already we know, sir, there is a high out-of-pocket expenditure with regard to healthcare in India. So complete privatization might result in greater out-of-pocket expenditure. So that the complete privatization should be accompanied by further push in insurance, which is being provided by the government under Ayushman Bharat, sir. So if these two steps are taken side by side, then it can be a good option, sir.
You said that first step needs to be that there needs to be a due agreement between them.
Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
already we have Clinical Establishment Act of 2010, and under that the norms have been established so that the overcharging and all such kind of things are not there. But even today we see that there are out of pocket expenditures to the tune of 62%.
Yes.
So do you think that signing these kind of rules will be bringing some impact onto the ground? Because up till now, it has not been the case.
Sir, it is very unfortunate that it has not actually translated to the ground, sir. Sir, I think the major reason for this is that there is a lack of awareness among the people at large. Sir, if for example, if we go to any particular major private hospital, we do not know what are the rates at the time of billing. Yes. At the time of billing, whatever the bill is given, we assume that this is in accordance with whatever government guidelines and we pay it, sir. So, for example, if we can, like a citizen charter, sir, if we put up a major billboard or even if it is in the digital medium, that these are the rates and any overcharging above these rates, you should contact this particular number which can be given.
Government cannot come up with the rates for every treatment, for every kind of minor procedure.
Yes.
Don't you think that basically there needs to be more of an accountability that is to be taken by the hospitals itself? Okay, anyhow, the second point that you have talked about is with respect to the insurance.
Yes, sir.
With respect to the insurance, we have just recently taken up 2 of the reforms. Can you tell us what are the reforms that have been taken up for the insurance?
Sir, sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall right now, sir.
Okay, one of a bill has been cleared just into this particular session.
Okay, sir. I'll read about it, sir.
Okay, Rahul,
Yes, sir.
we see poverty such a big problem in India.
Yes, sir.
Has government taken any poverty estimation in last few years?
Sir, in my knowledge, I don't think there has been any estimations.
There is no poverty estimation.
In the last few years, I don't think so.
Okay, recently the periodic labor force survey
Yes, sir.
was released.
Yes, sir.
What is the trend of unemployment in India? Has it increased or has it decreased?
Sir, there has been an increase in the unemployment, sir.
What is the increase?
Sir, I think the unemployment rate is at 6.2%, which is one of the highest in the last 45
You are
years.
talking about the periodic labor force survey of 2017-18, 6.1.
Okay, sir.
Okay, if I tell you
Yes, sir.
the recent periodic labor force survey that has been came out,
Okay, sir.
onto the usual status, it has said that the unemployment rate has went down. Last year it was 5.8, now it is 4.8. So unemployment has reduced.
Okay.
How this is possible? We were into the pandemic, there were the lockdowns, informal economy has been crushed. So how onto the usual status it is showing that unemployment has went down?
Sir, I'm not aware of the exact methodology what is followed in the estimation, sir. Sir, but I think in the usual status, I think weekly status is taken.
No. It is into the CWS. In usual status, we take 365 days.
Okay. Sorry, sir. I'm not.
Okay, any guess if you want to take? Because it sounds like a kind of an anomaly.
Sir, I think one reason can be, sir, even though there was, in the traditional sense, we had like physical establishments were shut down. But I think that we saw a huge growth in the e-commerce and the digital mediums. Sir.
No, in terms of numbers, it is a very small part. Okay, Rahul, my last question.
Yes, sir.
Recently, the Reserve Bank of India, it announced that the pilot for the digital currency will be started. What is this digital currency?
Sir, this digital currency is, it has been seen many central banks across the world like China. They have started this digital currency as a solution to the cryptocurrency which is gaining ground rapidly, sir. So in the RBI wants to create a digital currency which is backed by the sovereign fiat, sir. So this will deal with the concerns of volatility and possible usages for other anti-social activities, that is generally issues which are associated with cryptocurrencies.
Okay, Rahul, yes. Suppose I have money in my account.
Yes.
I can send that money into a digital way to you.
Yes.
Okay, online transfer I can
Yes.
do.
Yes.
If that facility is there, how the digital currency will be different? What extra or special purpose it will serve?
Sir, I think it is based on the tool of cryptography, sir. And it is based on the blockchain technology, sir. So information will be stored in separate blocks and these are linked together in a chain so that information cannot be altered by any other person.
Okay, Rahul, read more onto it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.